Good morning. I'm Jesus Christ, and I'm an addict, and I'm an alcoholic. But I've recovered. I'm in the recovery process, but I do not take drugs, and I do not drink now. I want to tell you kind of how it was for me. So I'll simplify it as best as I can. But if you're an addict or an alcoholic, and by the way, alcohol is a drug. Okay, alcohol is a drug, just like drugs. Alcohol is still a drug. Many people consider alcohol to be different than drugs. It is not. Okay, it's just more widely accepted by society, and it kills probably more people than drugs do. The first step is to acknowledge to yourself that you have a problem with your drinking and you're taking drugs. You know, when you try to stop, you might have good intentions of stopping, but you don't stop. Or when you say if you're drinking, you go to drink and you plan on controlling yourself, but you just end up drinking too much, or you know, you, no matter what you try to do, you end up drinking too much. Or if you decide to control yourself with your drinking or drugs, let's say, you're miserable if you don't do a lot of it. Like if you just do a little bit moderate amount, so you had one or two beers in an evening or an event, you're not happy with that. You're kind of miserable. You want more. That's a sign that you have alcoholism. I was a meth head, a severe alcoholic. I've done plenty of LSD. I've done ketamine. I was a pothead. I've not done heroin, but heroin is a drug like the rest. And out of all those, the drugs I did, what almost killed me, what truly almost killed me, more than one occasion, was alcohol. It is more lethal than meth. Okay, so first step that I had to do was acknowledge that I had a drinking problem and a drug problem, and I knew I needed help because I couldn't stop. And you have to realize this, you might try to stop. I would try to stop drinking or doing drugs. My best intentions, I'd even pray about it, but nothing would happen. After a few days or maybe a few months, I'd go back to it. I would try to just stop it and just by myself handle it and get over the craving and craving, but the craving would not go away. No matter what I did, I would sit there. I might resist for a while, but the craving wouldn't go away. So the first step is realizing that you need help. Once you realize that you have a problem, and you know you have a problem, you might not admit it to other people, but you know yourself if you have issues, and you know, by the way, it emotionally makes you feel like you don't feel good within yourself about this situation. It's a sick cycle. So realize you have a problem. Admit it to yourself, and if you don't admit it to other people, then realize you can't do this by yourself. It's kind of like trying to take a deep breath and hold it for the rest of your life. You can't do it. You need help. Now, I'm telling you that you need God's help. If you don't believe in God, you're not willing to believe in God, that's fine. You need the help of a power greater than yourself. And for me, that was a 12-step program. I can't mention the name. It's kind of the rules of 12-step programs, not to break the rules. It's a tradition. But you need a 12-step program or church. But for me, it was a 12-step program because I didn't believe in Christianity. Christianity offended me, the concept. I thought people were stupid that believed in Christianity. I thought they were bigots, hypocrites. I didn't believe in it. I thought it was fantasy land, but I believed in God. So seek help. You can't do this by yourself. You have to be surrounded with other people that are getting clean and sober. And a power greater than yourself can be, if you don't believe in God, the group of people that are surrounding you. That's you by yourself is one power. If there's 10 or 15 of you trying to get sober, that's more power. There's 10 or 15 of you, that's more power. Power greater than yourself. I'm telling you to call on God, though. But if you can't call on God, get among the people. And even if you do believe in God, get among the people that are getting clean and sober. Get among them. Get a sponsor, or a mentor. Get a sponsor, someone that's a good person, not some dick that treats you like shit. Says you asshole, you're self-centered. Find someone that is after your heart, that you think is a good person, that you respect, and you just kind of admire and you respect, and that you know is a decent person that's not a piece of crap. Because there's plenty of pieces of crap that'll mentor you. There's low lifes that'll mentor you and sponsor you. No, find a good person, that you trust and you know is a decent person, that you respect their story. You want to respect them too. You want to have respect for them, not look at them like a dumb shit that's just a pushover wimp, but I mean someone you respect. So admit you have a problem. Get into a group of people that are trying to get clean and sober. Call on God. Even if you don't believe in God, I know you may not like this. Say the words out loud. Make a prayer that God shows himself to you, that he presents himself to you if he's real. You may not want to do that. Do it privately by yourself, but say the words out loud. if there's no God, what does it matter? You're just talking. If there is no God, and then you're likely an intellectual, and you think there's intellectual reasons for there not being a God, so you can play with your intellectuality and say, well, I'm just gonna use my mind and say the words out loud because I'm an intellectual and it doesn't matter anyways. Make a game out of it, but say a prayer that God shows Himself to you. Get into this 12-step program or church, and do the steps they tell you to do. You got to be honest. You got to do the right thing. Keep going to these meetings. You need support. You can't do it by yourself. You can't just hold your and never breathe again. You have to have help, or you'll be pulled back by this tidal pull back into addiction. You will go back to it. So get help. Keep going. Pray to a God. Get honest about the things inside of you that you're ashamed of. There's things that you don't want to tell people. Get this sponsor and go through and tell him everything you're ashamed of. I know it's going to scare the shit out of you. You're taking a risk, but do it. He can't just hurt or destroy you. Maybe can hurt you, but he can't destroy you. And you're likely going to be just fine because he's just the same as you, if not worse. He's got things to be ashamed of. I used to think I was gay. I was gay. I didn't want to tell anyone that I'm not gay. I didn't realize at the time that I wasn't gay, but at the time I was gay because I hadn't realized the power of God and who I really was. But I'd become sickened. So you can confess to these people the things you're ashamed of. You have to. If you keep this secret within you, it's going to pull you back to your alcohol or drugs. Confess. Keep going to these meetings. Keep seeking God. I'm telling you, Christianity is the gate to heaven. It's the true gate. But if it takes you a while to get there, then it takes you a while. But I'm telling you, if you can, get there. Pray that you get there. If it's real. Say, I don't necessarily know if it's real, God, but if it is real, if Christianity is real and it's a love thing, please get me there in your own time. I don't believe it now, Father God. I don't believe it now, God, power greater than myself. But if Christianity is real, please get me there. And just do your best to seek God. You have to seek God. If you make mistakes, as long as you're seeking God, if you stumble, do things wrong, you make bad decisions, but you're seeking God, He will get you there. All you have to do is honestly seek Him. Willingly seek Him. You're going to have to go against your will and do things you don't want to do. You're going to be scared of the groups of people. It's going to scare the shit out of you. But you're in a safe place. Imagine you're drowning. You're drowning in this lake, and there's a reed. Okay, there's a reed sticking up, and you think, if I grab onto that, it's not going to save my life. Matter of fact, it might cut me. It looks like it's got stuff in it. That's kind of how God's hand is. It looks like it's not real. It looks like it won't help you. This 12-step program is God's hand reaching out to you. It looks like it won't help you, like it's not real. But you have to have faith and grab onto it. And then you'll realize it's the entire universe, the power of God, and you're safe. You have to reach out to God. You cannot do this by yourself. You can do it temporarily maybe, but you're going to go back to addiction. You'll go back to your practicing of drinking or drugs. You'll go back to it. You may get sober and be seeking God and then have a relapse and go back to alcohol or drugs. I relapsed several times in my life, many times over the years. But every time I relapsed, I got the shit kicked out of me again. And then finally I got the shit kicked out of me bad enough that I went back and started getting sober again. And once you start getting sober, you learn more and more. The learning process never stops. So I want to tell you, the cravings will go away. Basically, most of the time, once you seek a 12-step program or church program, once you seek help, the cravings will almost immediately go away once you're in the power of this group. Sometimes you have to deal with cravings for a while. You have to resist them. You're going to be uncomfortable. The cravings are still going to be there. But walk anyways and don't do the alcohol and drugs. Don't do it. The cravings will go away. Your life will become comfortable. It will not take effort of resisting cravings. It will not take the effort. You won't be fighting cravings. You will live your life. You'll have a better life than you did. You'll have more fun. You'll enjoy yourself more. You have to seek help though. Realize it will get better. I promise you. It got better for me. And I've had the experiences of the craving totally being lifted immediately. Last time I got sober, I must have been 40 years old. And, and I'm a little over 6 years sober now. The craving did not go away immediately this time. It was tough, but now the craving's gone. And I sense this time that I will never go back to alcohol or drugs because my life is so good. But just trust me. Admit you have a problem. Admit you can't do it by yourself. You need help. Say fuck you, fear, and go into the group. Go into the group. Screw the fear. Don't allow the fear to control you. Get in there. Be honest. Do the right thing. You have to confess your faults. Get a sponsor. Do what he tells you to do. And keep seeking God. Keep seeking God. Keep seeking God. The moral of the story is seek God. Keep seeking God. And seeking God doesn't mean just sit there in your bedroom by yourself and pray. You have to do things of God. You have to be around people. You have to be in a community. You have to do this. These are part of the plan. And it can be done. And you can get sober and your life will be better. And your dreams will likely be born. My dreams were born in sobriety. That's when I start dreaming. When I do drugs or drink, my dreams die. When I'm sober, that's when my dreams live and dreams are born and dreams become reality. Dreams are born. You're not losing stuff by giving up alcohol or drugs. Your life will get better. Same for sex addiction or porn addiction or gambling addiction. But for me, I was an alcoholic and a meth head. Okay, so this is a long video now. It's 11 minutes. You can do this. Admit you have a problem. Admit you can't do it by yourself. Go into a group. Seek God. Keep fighting. Once you got the football in your hand, run with it. Stay sober, and you will be just fine. Peace be with you.